In one of the most stunning upsets in recent heavyweight boxing history, Daniel Dubois delivered a dominant performance to knock out Anthony Joshua, claiming victory in front of a record-breaking crowd of 96,000 at Wembley Stadium in London. The highly anticipated IBF heavyweight title bout, which many believed would be a showcase of Joshua's continued resurgence, instead turned into a brutal display of Dubois' power and precision, as he dismantled Joshua over 5 rounds. From the opening bell, it was clear that Dubois had come prepared for the biggest fight of his career. Joshua, once the shining star of British boxing, looked sluggish and off balance from the start. In the final seconds of the first round, Dubois landed a massive overhand right that sent Joshua crashing to the canvas. Although Joshua survived the round, the damage was done, and it became evident that he had not fully recovered. As the rounds progressed, Joshua, who had been known for his resilience and power in previous bouts, struggled to find his footing. His defense appeared porous, and his movement was slow, leaving him vulnerable to Dubois' relentless assault. Many observers noted that Joshua's hand position was unusually low, which only added to his vulnerability. Meanwhile, Dubois was in peak form, showcasing a mix of power punches and speed that overwhelmed his opponent. The second and third rounds continued in similar fashion, with Dubois pressing the action and landing heavy shots. Joshua, clearly rattled, was reeling around the ring, struggling to mount any significant offense. Dubois knocked him down again early in the fourth round, and while Joshua bravely attempted to continue, he was visibly out of sync and uncoordinated. By this point, the crowd at Wembley, many of whom were there to support Joshua, watched in disbelief as the former champion faced an onslaught of punishment from the younger, hungrier Dubois. By the fifth round, the end seemed inevitable. Joshua, though he had moments of promise, including a straight right hand that briefly wobbled Dubois, was unable to capitalize on his openings. In a dramatic turn, as Joshua pressed forward to follow up on his advantage, Dubois countered with a thunderous right hand that sent Joshua crashing to the mat for the final time. The referee immediately waved off the fight, confirming Dubois' victory and cementing his place as a legitimate heavyweight world champion. The reactions to the fight were swift and pointed, with many in the boxing world expressing shock at the manner in which Joshua was dominated. Popular figures in combat sports, including Ariel Helwani, Jake Paul, and Claressa Shields, took to social media to comment on Joshua's flat and uncoordinated performance. Helwani noted that Joshua never seemed to recover after being rocked in the first round, while Paul remarked that Joshua looked super flat and uncoordinated. Others, such as boxing journalist Dan Raphael, highlighted how Dubois fought the fight of his life, delivering a career-defining performance on one of the sport's biggest stages. Dubois' triumph marked a significant redemption story for the 26-year-old, who had previously been written off by some after a loss to Joe Joyce in 2020. Dubois' victory over Joshua not only re-established him as a top contender but also legitimized him as a true world champion in the heavyweight division. As one observer put it, Dubois' knockout of Joshua should serve as an inspiration to any young fighter who has suffered setbacks early in their career. While Dubois basks in the glory of his signature win, the question now looms. What's next for Anthony Joshua? Despite the crushing defeat, it was reported that Joshua's promoter, Eddie Hearn, believes the former two-time world champion will exercise his rematch clause, setting the stage for another high-stakes showdown between the two heavyweights. For Joshua, the loss is another setback in a career that has seen tremendous highs and some significant lows. Once considered the future of heavyweight boxing after capturing gold at the 2012 Olympics and winning multiple world titles, Joshua has now suffered multiple knockout defeats, including to Andy Ruiz Jr. and Alexander Usyk. This latest defeat to Dubois raises serious questions about his future in the sport and whether he can once again reach the pinnacle of the division.